and welcome everybody to this edition of Talks with Seto. Today we're going to talk about Tropicus with Mauricio Tovar. How you doing, Mauricio?
Hi, Jan. I'm fine. Thank you for having me.
Really nice to have you here. Um, how is it going this week for Tropicus?
How is it going to Swig?
How is it going this week in Tropicus?
This week. Well, this week we achieve all-time highs in Tropicals, so we are very happy on that. Also, we already achieved for the first time $2 million in loans. That is very important for us because our services Bitcoin-backed loans, and the protocol is growing in a healthy way. The people is using it is getting they are receiving value from the protocol. So yeah, as a community, we are very happy on the development of the protocol and this week, of course.
Okay, that's right. Well, there are some people in the Money on Chain community and the Restock community that doesn't know what Tropicus is. So I want to know what Tropicus is, how it works.
Yeah, for sure. Tropicus is a lending protocol where you can do mainly two things. One is to save money in US dollar using money on chain, that it's a US dollar backed by Bitcoin. And the second thing that you can do in Tropicus is that if you have Bitcoin, you don't want to spend it, but you need liquidity, you can put Bitcoin as a collateral and take a loan against that collateral in US dollars. You can take maximum 50% right now of the value of your Bitcoin in US dollars, but you can do it without any requirement of paper or any credit study because you have the guarantee for your loan.
Okay, that's really nice. Sounds very interesting because you can have a loan the same day, right? You can put your Bitcoin in the morning, take the loan, and just pay it in the same day.
Actually, 30 seconds after you put your collateral, it's very fast. You don't have any, you don't need to fulfill any requirements of the banks or something like that, like in a home loan or something like that. No, you can do it like a mortgage, more exactly. No, you can do it by yourself, and it's a non-custodial solution. You are the owner of your finance using Tropicus.
That's really nice. So I think a good question will be how is Tropicus helping people who don't have access to traditional banking?
We are helping them offering new alternatives so they can, for example, in places like Colombia and Brazil, the citizens can have access to US dollar bank accounts. With Tropicus, they can access very fast to expose to dollar on chain and to yield around 5% to 5% to 7% APY in interest rate per year. And also, we are offering the possibility for those people that normally the banks are reject them from loans to use their Bitcoin as a tool to access to fair loans and flexible loans. That is very important because the loans in Tropicus, they are not fixed to a term or something like that. They are flexible loans. If you only need a loan for 3 hours, you can use Tropicus for that. And if you want a loan for 20 years and your collateral is always healthy against the loan, you can do that too. So they are flexible loans, more open, and is more transparent too. You can see in real time how many money is in the protocol, not only in the lending side, but also in the borrowing side. So you can see in real time how the finance of the protocol are.
Okay, that's really interesting and really important because you never know what the bank is doing with your money. So,
I know.
so well, I think
And something that is very important, Jan, is that in Tropicus, the founders and the people that we have been pushing about Tropicus, we cannot access the money. The only person that can access the money is the person that deposit. The only person can pay for the debt is the person that asks for the loan, and is the only person that can withdraw the collateral of the loan. So we cannot manage the money to put it in the stocks or something like that. They are all in the smart contracts, and you can see in real time how many money is in the protocol.
It's real DeFi. It's 100% DeFi.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
that's a really good point for people that are scared of banks. So I think a good question will be: Is can someone without much knowledge of blockchain easily use Tropicus?
It's not that easy like other services, but we designed the front end to be very easy for the users to access to the yield in dollars in few clicks, and also to access to loan in few clicks. It's going to be maximum to do all of this 5 minutes, but you need to have, or you need to open a wallet. We have several options for wallets. If you want to open a wallet with your a non-custodial wallet with your email account, you can do it with a technology that we integrated. And also, if you want to use Wallet Connect to connect your mobile, you can use it, but also MetaMask, or directly using more sophisticated wallets like and more secure wallets like Ledger and Trezor. You can use all of those possibilities to connect yourself to Tropicus in a non-custodial manner.
Okay, nice. So yeah, let's say that it's not so hard, but you need to have a little bit of knowledge or maybe time to start reading about wallets, about reading about Tropicus. But it's not so hard. It's let's say that it's more fast than getting a loan of a bank. Let's say that.
And try opening a bank account
Yeah,
in a bank. It's more time than I can for sure. It's gonna be more time than in Tropics. Yeah.
yeah, that's really awesome. So I think an important thing is how are you building a community around Tropicus? I want to know that.
We started to build a community around the problems that we are suffering in places or in regions like Latin America. Of course, every country is a different situation. Some of them have common issues like high inflation or hyperinflation in Venezuela and in Argentina. That fortunately they are solving it with the new government in Argentina. But also, cross-border payments is very expensive in Latin America. Loans are so restrictive and so expensive. The interest rates are so high. We have these common problems in the region. We are a region that have a lot of diaspora in not only in the United States and Europe, but also inside of Latin America. And accessing to financial services in your own country is difficult. Imagine if you are in another country. So those kind of problems, the valuation of the local currencies is the focus of the community and how we start to build Tropicus. And another topic is that we started to talk with the community that finance should be fun. Normally when you go to a bank, it's like, oh, these guys are trading me so bad. I don't have the banks doesn't look like a service for us, and we say no. We need to change that. We need to change how people interact with finance, and finance should be fun because it's to solve problems, it's to improve your future using finance. That's why Tropicus is this move around the tropical part of the world where most, and that is why we uh, put that name, is that in the tropicus, in that part of the world, is where most of the population lacks of good financial services, and also in that part of the world is where most people want to live because the life in tropicus is so good. So that we try to move the community around those narratives, focusing on how these new technologies can solve the problem that we are suffering in the region, but having fun.
That's really awesome. So talking more about communities, I would love to know, do you have examples of how Tropicus has helped users? Do you have any story experience?
Yeah, the first thing is that we don't know exactly the users of Tropicus because they connect their wallet and they can just use the service and that's it. But some of the users and some of the community members are started to share with us where are the use cases that Tropicus is very valuable for them. For example, there are people buying motorcycle to a motorcycle to work with the motorcycle in Argentina. People there, some people buy cameras, photo cameras. Some people is building houses. Some people are building um, are buying companies. Some people are finance their own wedding using Tropicus. So we have several use cases, real use cases. And with these times of volatility of the past 2 months, we also start to see some use cases about speculation. You know, some people that want to use Tropicus to put their Bitcoin as a collateral to ask for a loan, and then with that loan in US dollar to buy more Bitcoin and to put it in Tropicus to protect that loan with more collateral. That is a trend of the past 2 months or something like that, maybe with the announcements and the result of the elections in the United States. But yeah, normally our focus is real case use cases, like I mentioned at the beginning.
Okay, that's really awesome because, yeah, I think if you need a loan will be 100 times more easy. And how do you say you have a lot of possibilities to use Tropicus to give your money, to make loans, to make a loan. That's really awesome. So, big question will be, why did you choose to build on Rostock Tropicus?
Well, there are several reasons why we selected Rostock 4 years ago. That is important to say is that Tropicus next week we will be celebrating 4 years to be in mainnet. That is awesome for the community. And 4 years ago, first the adoption of stable coins wasn't too high. The king was Bitcoin at that moment, and Rostock is a sidechain of top of Bitcoin. Also, in that moment, the fees of Rostock was the best of the ecosystem. In that moment, there wasn't any layer two on top of Ethereum and things like that. But most important, in my perspective, is that the founders of Rostock are Argentinians and they understand the problems of the region, and we share the mission with different technologies. And also, the ecosystem around Rostock was built mostly in Latin America. And we found the most common ecosystem with Money on Chain and other partners that wanted to solve the same problems than us, and we can cooperate together to do it. That was the main reasons that we selected Rostock.
Okay, nice. So, what makes Tropicus different from other platforms in DeFi? Want to know that on your talks.
Yeah, for sure. Tropicus was built with a user in mind, is regular users. Most of the lending DeFi protocols are built are very good. A lot of them are more successful than Tropicus, of course, but they are focused on traders. So they are building solutions for those kind of users because those are their users. We try to resign for those users and to say no, our users will be our real users in Latin America, and we want to solve these kind of problems. That way, what make us make Tropicus different is that we have been building with the community of real people in Latin America in Spanish to find the best solutions for those people. For example, the interest rates in other platforms goes very high and very low depending on the liquidity. The markets in Tropicus are more stable, so the people know that they can have a loan for the long term because they are not going to face any 40% per year interest rates even for a day, because the design of the markets are not for that. That is different with other protocols that you don't know if you will pay 40% or 2, because the volatility or the design of the markets are very volatile in the interest rates topics.
Okay, nice. So I was going to ask about new features, but I think I saw one that you guys have now bolts into Tropicus. Why? Very interesting.
Why? Because users ask to us to integrate bolts. Because and why the users ask to integrate bolts? Because bolts is an amazing tool to go from Lightning Network to Rootstock and from Bitcoin mining to Rootstock. Even better than all the solutions that are right now in the market. So we studied it, we work with their teams, and we integrate it mainly because our users ask us to integrate it.
Okay, that's really nice. So you have a like a big community looking for new updates on Tropicus. So what inspired you to make a project like Tropicus?
Actually, our motivation at the beginning was that we were suffering this kind of problems ourselves, the founders. Uh, every time we have another company that is a software development company, and every time I went to the bank, they treat me so bad, and they tell me so many lies at the end that I told the team, "Hey guys, we need to do something. We need to do something." Also, some of the software developers were having some problems around accessing to loans and with a very good salaries. And another point was that my brother used to live in Argentina for 15 years, and I suffered with him all of the inflation cycles and the devaluation of the Argentinian peso. Maybe the last motivation was our Venezuelan brothers suffering from that hyperinflation situation. And yeah, that's why we say we need to do something. We need to put money on this solution, and we start to bootstrap Tropicus at the beginning, and after that we raise a pre-seed round, and yeah.
Okay, that's really nice. Really love that. I think a good question will be: do you think the DeFi platforms like Tropicus will replace traditional banks in the future?
I think the word is not going to be replaced. I think the word is going to be to highly compete with them. My perception around how these DeFi protocols like Tropicus and the banks we are going to behave is very similar to how the relationship between Uber and the taxis have been evolving in this time. Just to mention, in Colombia, uh, before Uber, the taxi service was so bad that when Uber came, I only used to use Uber. But with the time, the taxi service starts to improve, and the Uber service like decrease in their service. And right now, I'm using sometimes taxi and sometimes I use Uber, depending if I need to just take a taxi in the street, or if I have time, or if I'm in the airport or something like that. I think that crypto and Bitcoin and all of these services, they are not going to push for a better service in the banks. They already are pushing for better services in the banks, and that's good for the citizens. Is if only crypto exists, you don't have a lot of options in the market. So I believe in options. I believe in open markets. I believe that it's better for the users to have a lot of possibilities. So in that sense, if the banks improves their service for the users, pushed by crypto, that's a good news for the society. So I don't think that is going to be a replacement. I think that is going to be an overall an improvement of the financial services.
Okay, that's a interesting talk about banks in future. So I think a question that maybe some people wants to ask is, how do you ensure that borrowing or lending on Tropicus is simple and fair?
How we ensure that is simple, talking with users and trying to improve the UX UI according to their needs and to their feedback. That is our main strategy. And fair is trying to maintain the to design the protocol uh, for the users that want to use it, not for 2 hours to do a trade, but for users that want to use it for months, to want to save money for months, that want to save money for or access to a loan for months. So that's why that is the mission that we have. And we know that we are starting. We only have 4 years, but yeah, we are listening to them and trying to improve with their feedback.
Okay, that's nice. I want to ask you if maybe it's possible to make like an example. I want to have a loan. So I don't know, maybe if I can tell you like the numbers and then you told me what I need to do. So I need like let's say around $8,000. What I will need to do to have that loan on Tropicus.
So if you need $8,000 in a loan, you need to have at least $16,000 in Bitcoin, and you can put it as a collateral in Bitcoin. In 2 clicks, you put that in a collateral, and in 2 clicks, you access for loan. That's it.
Okay. It's really simple. You don't
It's
even ask me what I want the $8,000.
well, no. We don't know. It's not important. It's people know why they need their loans. It's not our problem, you know,
Yeah.
because you have the guarantee for that loan. So yeah, we actually today we open a proposal in the community so that you can access for more portion of US dollar loans with the same collateral. Because in 4 years, Bitcoin has been evolving, growing, is less volatile than 4 years ago, and the market that are also have been also evolving. So the ratio of that collateral, if the community agrees and they don't have a big concern, in less than a week will be 67% for Bitcoin. So if you have $10,000 for in Bitcoin, you can access for to a loan of $6,700, not $5,000 like right now. So yeah, that is also a requirement of the community. It's not just that we say, okay, let's do this and this. It's that the community start to say, guys, you should do research about this and this. Look at this in the market. Look at this. We started to listen in. We started to do the research, to do the numbers, and we shared those numbers with them. And let's see what happens next week.
Okay, that's really nice. I think it's a good point that everyone in the Tropicus community can like say, "Hey guys, I want this on Tropicus. I want you to fix something." It's really important on DeFi. So I think an interesting question will be, what do you think is the biggest opportunity for Tropicus right now?
The biggest opportunity of Tropicus is to take advantage of all of this very big movement around Bitcoin. I'm not talking about Trump or something like that. It's several things. It's like every 10 minutes, Bitcoin it's stronger than 10 minutes before. And we have been doing that or the protocol have been doing that for 16 years right now. And the market is starting to believe that maybe Bitcoin will be the gold 2.0 in the future with better performance, with better capabilities than the gold. And if that is true, and the market will continue with the ETFs and also with the sailor strategies and also with the better regulation in the state that is going to translate in better regulations in other parts, that is the big opportunity for Tropicus. Because if that is true, Bitcoin is the better digital collateral in the world. And we are one of the few and oldest protocols offering Bitcoin as a collateral for loans. So that is the opportunity in my perspective, and we need to take advantage as a community of that.
Okay, that's nice. So you will say that this is like the best moment for Tropicus before governments and banks start thinking in, oh, we can save Bitcoin and we can make loans on Bitcoin.
No, it's okay, those kind of services too. I don't have any problem, but some of the market will prefer to do it in a non-custodial wallet, in a non-custodial manner. So that's why we're there. And some of those institutions will start to say, oh, we want to use a protocol for this, and Tropicus is ready to do that.
That's nice. Well, I think we can talk a little bit about Bitcoin. I want to know your thoughts about Bitcoin.
My thoughts about Bitcoin is that it opens my mind in 2016. It opens my mind so heavily that I quit the projects that I was leading in 2016. I take like a year to quit those projects and to focus only in this technology. That is the transformations that transformation that Bitcoin uh, gives to my life in 2016 and 2017. And since then to this moment, I think Bitcoin has been like like a rock that is stronger every time. Some people say that Bitcoin is like a boring money or something like that, because it doesn't change. But that is a feature. It's not a bug when you are talking about money, because when you talk about money, you want to maintain the money as stable as is possible to trust in that. If someone can change that money even to improve it, it's bad for the future, because if you can change it to improve it, you can change it to go in the other way, so that characteristic of Bitcoin being very boring is so exciting to me as a money. And yeah, that's why we believe in Bitcoin for as a collateral and for the future of the financial services.
Can you have great thoughts on Bitcoin? I think I never heard some talks like that. So, and what do you think is gonna happen with Bitcoin in the next, let's say, 5 years? Not talking about price, talking about maybe adoption, about governments and things like that.
Yeah, I think Bitcoin will scale through layers like Rostock and others, and that will open several possibilities of financial services. And these institutions will use it to solve some of the problems that actual systems has, and for example, for cross-border payments, or to settlements, or to operate 24/7 that you cannot do it in Wall Street. So yeah, I think in that sense, in the institutional part will be growing, and for regular users, they will see that Bitcoin is there no matter the media, no matter the bad press that they receive or something like that. In this moment, it's not the case, but mostly is the case. And they will see with the time that it's a very good store of value for the long term. It's risky, and it will continue to be risky in the short term, but for the long term, it's less risky than, for example, the US dollars. And yeah, and with the time, the institutions will be using Bitcoin as a hedge to reduce the risk of loans in traditional loans, as we are seeing in some cases in the United States. And also, the most important thing is that we don't know what is going to happen, and that is the more certain thing that I can tell you, is that Bitcoin always give you some surprises that you don't expect. For example, the case of El Salvador, nobody expected that Bitcoin was a legal tender in any country so fast. And last year nobody, or this, yeah, last year nobody expected that the president elected of the most important economy in the world was a pro Bitcoin president. uh, I didn't imagine that. I expected that the US president will be the last Bitcoiner president in the world. I was wrong, but that's Bitcoin. You cannot know what is going to happen with this technology and
Yeah,
with Bitcoin.
yeah, it's really important, really interesting. For example, the talk on El Salvador, because I never expected to see like a Central American country using Bitcoin as legal tender. So I think it's really, really strange and really important how Bitcoin can improve like a simple country. They literally helped a small city in the coast of El Salvador, and it's really nice. So we have a question that is, can you register, create an account on Tropicus using ProtoMail Swiss email service? What do you say?
It's a good question. Unfortunately, not. It's designed for Gmail, for Twitter, for Facebook, for social media in general. But I think I need to confirm. But I think that the solution that we integrated doesn't include Proton Mail yet. But I'm going to, listening to you, I'm going to talk with the developers if that is possible.
Okay, we already made a proposal in the middle of the show. That's really nice.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Really nice. So, well, I think one of the last question will be, which will be your advice for the people that is looking right now at the show who maybe wants to go into tropicus.com, but it's kind of scared. What would be your advice?
The first advice, well, giving an advice is so difficult, and we are not giving any financial advice in the show. I
Yeah,
think it's just for academic purposes or
yeah.
to inform you guys, but you need to take your own decisions, and that is very important. The first thing that you need to do in Tropicus, with Money on Chain, with Woodstock, or with any financial service that you will use, is to do your own research, to learn, to ask questions, to doubt about things, and to solve those questions. And solving those questions and learning what you need to know, because it's your money what you are putting in those services. It's your future. So starting, don't put a lot of money. Just uh, learn from using it with a small amount of money. And in parallel, you can be learning about Money on Chain, about Rootstock, about Tropicus, or any other service that you use, centralized or decentralized, custodial or not custodial. And if you feel that you have enough information to take a decision or to make a decision, make it. Before not, because you are just believing and you're not knowing what you are doing. So please, first, do your research, learn, and with information, when you feel that you have enough information, take your decisions. Learn about Bitcoin. What are the problems that Bitcoin solve? Why Bitcoin boards? Uh, why Bitcoiner says that the financial services or the design of money and financial services need to be improved, that are not good enough. Those kind of, and ask simple questions. Why this? Why that? What is the problem that is solving? This is, you need to think like in a first principles manners to make the best decisions. Is if someone tell you something about their service and it's so complicated and it's use a language that nobody understand, that it's a red flag. If you ask a question and they don't answer directly your question, that is a red flag. So ask and find information, and with that you can make your decisions.
Okay, that's a really good advice. Hope you guys understand anything. If not, this will be recorded and you can find us in Spotify and Twitter. So thank you so much, Mauricio, for coming today and talk a little bit about loans and tropicus and banks and Bitcoin.
No, thank you to you, Jan. Thank you to the Money on Chain community. I'm very close to them and very proud about the also the Latin American origin of Money on Chain and the product. So yeah, thank you very much. We are going to build together for a long term. And yeah, thank you for all the people that join us in this conversation too.
Thank you guys. Stay tuned, please, for next week of Talk with Sato.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.